So I just recorded the entire video, and then I went over to turn it off, and I realized the phone wasn't even on. So I'm doing it all again, just for you. I hope you appreciate it. I guess now it's 6, now it's like 2:52 in the morning. Oh yeah, Construction Stories Part 61, Swabby Walls. My coworker and I, the lady, were walking around doing our thing, and we brought up boats, and how we really like boats, and how boats are really cool, and how people don't get on boats enough, and how the ocean's awesome and stuff. And so we were talking, and we're like, yeah, we want to go on boat rides and ship rides and stuff. Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, I want to get on some actual trip, you know, not just a 2-hour fishing trip, like a 3 month from Venezuela to Venice type of trip. And I want to go on a pirate ship or something, just because, you know. And she's like, what, you're going to swab the deck? You're going to keel the slabs or something? And I don't know. And I just grabbed a hold of the word swab and was like, yeah, I'll swab that deck. I'll swab the crap out of that deck. The deck will be all like, oh no, don't swab me. And I'll be like, no, I'm going to swab you. Swab you, deck. And it'll be like, ah. And she was like, what? You're retarded. I was like, yeah. And so then I started using swab a lot. Like, I'll swab you. I'll swab you all over the place. And so I think that's an interesting word that can probably have a lot of uses. So, yeah, I'm probably going to start using that. That's a thing now. Swab is cool now. The second thing was... Frick. I totally forgot. I totally said it in the other video. That got deleted, but... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I went hiking this morning. I went trail running, which is why I went to sleep so early last night, so I could actually go out and do that. And my friend and I got a rope and tied it around a tree and started doing like workouts with it. And one of the things we did was go up on the tree and then try and dismount the tree using the rope and then climb down. So, I mean, I guess you could use that in real life. It was mostly his idea. I think it's kind of dumb, but I still did it. But when I dismounted and fell off, my momentum pulled me into the trunk and just straight up like scraped some of the skin off of my 2 knuckles right here. And so the thing about construction is you have to wear gloves. And so I had to put on gloves and it was like, ah, like when you skin your knee or something, then you wear jeans over it. That's what it was with my knuckles. But I had to, like, my entire job is dependent on me grabbing things. So it just really freaking hurt for the whole day, and it still hurts right now. And I'm going to have to, like, clean it out and stuff. Yeah, what do? You be responsible is what you do. I wasn't responsible. But the third thing, the bad thing, I was up on top of the pontoon. I was, there's the deck, and there's these little holes in the deck, and in order to not fall into the holes, people put wood, like plywood, slats over the holes. So if you want to drop something through the holes, which is what the holes are there for, you got to pull up the plywood. So I was like, hey, I need to drop something down this hole. I'm going to pull up the plywood. Now this pontoon hadn't been poured yet, so it was completely empty, but it was encased in 2 walls because it was going to get poured tomorrow. So there's these 2 walls, like this wide, and all these metal bars in between, and I'm right next to it, and like, this really shouldn't have happened, but it was weird. So I stuck my hammer, my claw beneath it, and like pulled it, and I was like, oh, okay, one more chunk. Dunk! And it was like, and just went straight down the wall. And I was like, no! And, like, I flipped out and went over and, like, was like, no, 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 no. And it started falling, like, between the thing. It was like, ding, 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 ding. But then it stopped, held in place by the screws and the tension of it, just gravity and stuff. And it was, like, 7 feet down or something. I'm like, no, because if that stayed down there, they wouldn't be able to pour, and that would reset the entire schedule of, like, the whole operation. So it's kind of a big deal. So I'm under a little bit of stress. So I basically got the attention of the guys and was like, hey, might want to look at this. And they did, and they were like, oh, they're gonna kill you, dude. And yeah, a lot of the guys were so mad at me, and they all totally knew it was me, and I just felt terrible. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. It wasn't a nightmare, but it totally sucked. Yeah, that's it. I am gonna go take a shower and go to bed because I'm tired, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night.